With Janet Protasewicz's victory, some Wisconsin progressives are hopeful the court's new liberal majority will be more receptive to legal challenges to the state's legislative maps. New at 10, Caroline Date has you covered on what the future could hold for Wisconsin's legislative districts.
Right now, there are 64 Republicans and 35 Democrats in the state assembly. UW-Madison political science professor David Cannon says that distribution isn't close to the party split in recent statewide elections.
In all of the recent elections, we're very much a 50-50, purple state.
Cannon says Wisconsin's legislative maps are gerrymandered, drawn by Republicans to favor Republicans. Democrats and progressive groups have challenged the maps in court, but have been unsuccessful. Now, the progressive nonprofit Law Forward sees an opportunity for change.
This is the first time since 2008 where the Wisconsin State Supreme Court will have a progressive majority that will be able to consider questions of law from a different lens than has been the last decade and a half.
But Cannon says the challenge can't simply be arguing a gerrymander exists.
There is nothing in the state constitution about partisan fairness or partisan bias or balance.
He says instead it could focus on the right to vote.
And if a map was so extremely gerrymandered that Democrats don't have an equal opportunity to vote, basically, to have a meaningful vote, that's one potential grounds that could be pursued.
Last year, the president of the conservative Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, or WILL, defended the current maps by saying no state law says the makeup of the Assembly and Senate have to match the statewide popular vote.
That really assumes that we have a system that grants seats in the legislature to parties based upon their proportion of the statewide vote, but that's not what we have.
Today I reached out to Will to ask what they think the future holds for Wisconsin's legislative maps, with Protasewicz joining the bench, but they never got back to me for an interview. If there is a challenge to the current maps, Cannon says the Supreme Court would have to decide the case quickly in order for new maps to be in place for the 2024 election.